Okay, let's finish up this chapter really quick. Okay, my last video was like an hour long. I had no idea that's how long it really was. My battery had died, so we're just going to go ahead and finish this really quick. And one thing I've realized about all of this is let's continue. So, we are told that in Him we live and move and have our being. And we are told that He is a spirit, and again that He is love. So that every time we breathe this life, love, and spirit. This is pranic energy, or pranic ether. We could not exist a moment without it. It is the cosmic energy. It is the life of the solar plexus. Every time we breathe, we fill our lungs with air, and at the same time we vitalize our body with this pranic ether, which is life itself, so that we have the opportunity of making a conscious connection with all life, all intelligence, and all substance. A knowledge of your relation and oneness with this principle that governs the universe is the simple method whereby you can consciously identify yourself with it. Gives you a scientific understanding of a law whereby you may free yourself from disease, from lack or limitation of any kind. In fact, it enables you to breathe the, quote, breath of life, end quote, into your own nostrils. This breath of life is a superconscious reality. It is the essence of the I Am, that is pure being or universal substance, and our conscious unity with it enables us to localize it and thus exercise the powers of this creative energies. Remember what I Am is. Okay, I Am is the name of God. Remember it says in Exodus 3:15 or 3:14, that says I Am is the name of God. I am that I am. That's what God has said unto Moses. And this ability to consciously identify yourself with things like, hey, I am that. I am strong. I am at peace. I am going to make this happen. I am this person who I know myself to be. That is the thing which enables you to breathe that thing into life, because you take on that thing. You bend to it. You become it. And in turn, everything on the outside bends to it. They reflect what you are. This I amness. Thought is creative vibration, and the quality of the conditions created will depend upon the quality of our thought, because we cannot express powers which we do not possess, and the possession of power is from thinking. We must be before we can do, and we can do only to the extent which we are, so that what we will necessarily coincide with what we are, and what we are depends upon what we think. Every time you think, you start a train of causation which will create a condition in strict accordance with the quality of the thought which originated in it. Thought which is in harmony with the universal mind will result in corresponding conditions. Thought which is destructive or discordant will produce corresponding results. You may use thought constructively or destructively, but the immutable law will not allow you to plant a thought of one kind and to reap the fruit of another. You are free to use this marvelous creative power as you will, but you must take the consequences. You must use it in the way that it is meant to be used. This is the danger from what is called willpower. There are those who seem to think that by force they can coerce this law, that they can sow seed of one kind and by willpower make it bear fruit of another. But the fundamental principle of creative power is in the universal, and therefore the idea of forcing a compliance with our wishes by the power of the individual will is an inverted conception which may appear to succeed for a time being, but which may appear to succeed for a while, but is eventually doomed to failure, because it antagonizes the very power which it is seeking to use. Remember, thought being the power which makes it happen, not will. Will works from the outside. Thought and desire works from the within. It is the individual attempting to coerce the universal, the finite, in conflict with the infinite. Our permanent well-being will be best conserved by conscious cooperation with the continuous forward movement of the Great Whole. For your exercise this week, go into the silence and concentrate on the fact that, quote, in Him we live and move and have our being. In Him is literally and scientifically exact that you are because He is. And if He is omnipresent, He must be in you. That if He is all in all, and if He is all in all, you must be in Him. That He is spirit, and you are made in His image and likeness. And that the only difference between His spirit and your spirit is one of degree. That a part must be the same in kind of quality as the whole. And what is this? What is this part that He has given us? And that part was the part of creation. He has given us a part of creation. We have the power to create. When you can realize this clearly, you will have found the secret of the creative power of thought. You will have found the origin of both good and evil, and you will have found the secret of the wonderful power of concentration. You will have found the key to the solution to every problem, whether physical, financial, or environmental. Quote, the power to think consecutively and deeply and clearly is an avowed and deadly enemy to mistakes and blunders, superstitions, unscientific theories, irrational beliefs, unbridled enthusiasm, and fanaticism. End quote. And that is by Mr. Haddock. I know this video is extremely long, especially for this chapter. And one thing I was gonna say, I realized from me making all these videos that this really is, I was doing this with the idea of helping you guys, and ultimately for everybody. But I've learned about people and other people. As much as you want to be that person who shows the way and teaches others and shows others that, hey, this is how it is, that person's only really going to know it by personal experience. And I've decided that I do a lot of this because it's for me. It gives me something to do. I personally don't have a whole lot of friends. The friends I do have, I feel are priceless. I don't go out much. I don't party. I don't drink. Well, I don't go out to do that stuff. It's something I do every once in a while. Even though we've talked about how, even drinking or doing anything that changes your consciousness, we have to have a steady, subtle, pure stream of consciousness in order to really bring the things we want into our lives, because that changes how we feel, it changes how we think, and when we're continuously doing that, that becomes a part of who you are. They say it's fine to dip your feet in the ink every once in a while. Yeah, maybe that is true, but if it's something we're doing non-stop or continuously, then that's a problem, because when it's an everyday thing, then that's really how it's truly a part of who you are. And back when I was making videos every single day, it gave me a sense of power, knowing that I was continuously growing. Even if I do still read every day, I still do this, and sometimes I read books without recording it, but it's not exactly, it doesn't really feel the same as if I was actually had it on video. And I have another idea about sharing all this information out to you guys. It was an idea I had a while back, and I still have it, and I feel that it's maybe something I could think about working on pretty soon. I don't have a laptop. I'm still using my really slow computer. I'm still using this pretty old camera. First, I didn't come from a background of a wealthy family. And me personally, I'm not motivated too much by money. Yeah, it's a necessity, but the idea of money doesn't move me. The idea of getting a generation to read a little bit more, moves me. that I like that idea a lot more than money, you know. So part 20, study questions and answers. Upon what condition does power depend? Upon recognition and use. 2. What is recognition? Consciousness. You're aware of it being there. 3. How do we become conscious of power? By thinking of it. And then, what is the true business of life? Correct scientific thinking. What is correct scientific thinking? The ability to adjust our thought processes to the will of the universal. In other words, to cooperate with natural laws. And that's what the millennium mindset is. That is exactly what the millennium mindset is. You know, a person who knows himself as a creator, that they know that, you know, these universal laws, they know about the forces around them, and they know about, you know, just how they can create things. You know, that's what the millennium mindset is. You know, that's what we are. You and me. You know, because we're the lights of the world. Remember that. Every day. Our daily affirmations. Every day. We are the lights of the world. You and me. Because together, we're going to make a difference. Somehow, some way. We don't know how. We're going to make a difference in this world. And we know that it starts with us. Because we can't change the world unless we change. You know, you can't change anything unless you change. How is this accomplished? By securing a perfect understanding of the principles, forces, methods, and combinations of mind. 7. What is the universal mind? The basic fact of all existence, the Spirit of God. What is the cause of all lack, limitation, disease, and discord? It is due to the operation of exactly the same law. The law operates relentlessly and is continuously bringing about conditions in correspondence with the thought which originated or created them. 9. What is inspiration? The art of realizing the omnipresence of omniscience. And 10. Upon what does the conditions with which we meet depend? Upon the quality of our thought, because what we do depends upon what we are, and what we are depends upon what we think. That is the end of section 20 out of our lovely book, The Master Key System by Charles F. Haanel. Remember, this book is 100 years old. It was published back in 1916. You know, it's exactly 100 years from now. You know, and everything that's in this book is still true and valid even up to this day. You know, so it's very important that we stay in contact with, you know, not just the information, but the minds, you know, the people that wrote this and these type of books. Because when you find yourself in a place that doesn't exactly suit to where you feel you need to be, you need to surround yourself with those things that you know represent where, you know, you're going to be one day. You know, with that being said, I know these videos were long, you know, super long. If you ended up watching all of it, thank you for making it this far with me. And with that being said, like I said, I still have an idea of something else I could do for this, for you people who are really truly looking for this information and just want to learn it by yourself. Because I've learned that people like to learn things by themselves. You know, I don't know if anybody likes to be told how things are or how to do things. So I'm doing what I'm doing here to help me grow, because I'm still learning, and to also, you know, inspire you guys to do the same for yourselves and to actually take the initiation to learn for yourselves. Because there's a lot of, trust me, there's a lot of self-satisfaction when it comes to knowing you did the work for these things. And with that being said, like I said, I still have my other things to help give this information to you guys, where it's not so long, and I'm not just here talking about, you know, me as well. It's going to be strictly everything that's going on in these information of these books. So, that being said, remember our daily affirmations, that we are the lights of the world, and, you know, let's think about the power of our thought. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on the other side of the galaxy. Remember, we're on this part for an entire week. Okay, so we'll see you next week for the next part. And I'll see you.